Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I am Martina Lily and today we're going to chill out and play with more new makeup, or at least I have actually tested a heap of this makeup, but it is new makeup in terms of you might not have seen it yet on my channel because I have had a break, or it's from like Black Friday and I haven't had a chance to update you guys on my thoughts and that kind of thing. So hopefully we just have a good old-fashioned makeup time and that sounds interesting to you. If it does, go ahead and do the YouTubey things like subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. You guys are zoomed in nice and close, 4K, no filters. Everything I use on my face today will be linked in the description box down below for you guys. If you shop through them though, they are affiliate links, so thank you so much. We're gonna start with eyes today. Late last year I got sent in PR these two Esom eyeshadow palettes. I also got sent the Esom Cross Sophia Sees Beauty makeup brush set, which you guys have actually seen me use quite a bit already in videos, and I haven't had a chance to film with these palettes. So I got the #1 Balance Artistry palette, which I have actually used these quite a bit already, and then I also got the #2 Intensity Artistry palette. So this is the #2 Intensity, and it's a mixture of different kinds of metallic formulas. So these are more of like a soft, almost satin metallic, and then these are more of like your molten metallic, and then these are an even more molten metallic with like a hint of like glitter speck through it, if you will. So I quite like that it has the 3 different formulas in here. I have done like just a screenshot of swatches of these as well, so I'll just quickly insert that now for you. And then this one is the #1 Balance palette. I just wiped the palette and got this shadow a little bit wet, so don't mind that. I haven't swatched this one, to be honest, because swatching mattes is like painful for me, but I feel like you get the vibe, right? So it's quite a nice all matte brown, warm, neutral leaning palette. I quite like it. So I did get these in PR. I'll tell you my thoughts on these as we go along. This is not sponsored in any way, shape or form. Easton didn't ask me to talk about them in any certain way or anything. They just were like, hey, can we send you some PR? So, you know, all 100% honest in my own opinion. But I do want to be honest that they were received in PR, which I'm very grateful for. And I really, just as an FYI, I really love the Sophia Sees Beauty brush set, especially this brush, the T59. This is now like my favorite bronzer brush. It just, you've seen me use it like pretty much ever since I got it. It just hugs the face perfectly. So yeah, that's a side note. Okay, let's prime my lids with my NARS eye primer 2D. I'm gonna start with a What's Up Beauty R104 brush, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here. Now, as I mentioned, I've used this palette probably 5 or 6 times. I got it probably late November, I think, off the top of my head. Now there is a bit of kick up, so I don't know if you can see that. There is a bit of kick up to these palettes, so if that is something that immediately turns you off, just keep that in mind. I'm gonna just start by softly fluffing this through the crease. And I quite like this formula. It reminds me a bit of the Viseart formula. I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about Esom Cosmetics. It's not something that's like sold at like Sephora or anything here. I think Australians can order it off their website though. I presume so if they've shipped it to me in Australia. But it will be linked down below. So yeah, I don't know really anything about them. I kind of heard about them through like Sophia Sees Beauty's brush collab. I think I've heard about them randomly in other places too. The reason why I say Viseart is because like this kind of reminds me of a Viseart palette, or just like that all matte formula. It just kind of reminds me a little bit of it. It's a nice formula. It's a great beginner friendly formula. Like I think you can see it's blended out quite lovely. I wouldn't say it's my favorite matte formula in the world, if I'm honest. I just think it's nice. I do prefer the Patrick Tar like Major Dimensions 3 palette formula, that all matte palette. I do prefer that to this. I do think this is just a little bit of a more like, I guess, powdery formula than say like your Patrick Tar kind of formula, which is like really buttery and creamy. But it is nice, like don't get me wrong, it's a nice formula. If you like the Viseart formula, you'll like this. I think the Viseart formula is probably also a little bit more creamy, just a touch more creamy, but it does remind me of that formula, so you know. But this might be perfect for you. This might be like all the colors that you're looking for exactly, you know what I mean? In which case, like, I don't think that you would get it and dislike it. It is a nice formula. You can see how easily it is blending out. It's probably good for like, really good for like a makeup artist as well. I'm just gonna pick up this Rephr Shadow 04 brush and I'm gonna go into a little bit of this brown right here. So yeah, I like it. I think they're lovely. I think this is nice. And I think if it's exactly what you're looking for, I don't think you'd be disappointed. I'm just going to use this to deepen up the crease a little bit, just to define it a little bit. And I think, yeah, like I said, I think, you know, any skill level of makeup can use this palette and find it quite easy to use. But yeah, let me know if you've tried them. It's, like I said, it's really not a brand I've heard a lot about. Now I will do intensifiers on this side, but not on this side, just so that you guys can compare the difference. This is like a glitter glue kind of product if you are new here. You use something I use religiously. I'm going to take my Eyeshadow flat brush and I'm going to go into this one right here, which is this gorgeous kind of taupey grey brown charcoal. I'm going to pop that on the outer portion here, just a little bit. I really like this shade. It's really quite pretty. So again, looking very pretty. It's got a little bit of glitter speck there. I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger just so you can see. And again, you can see like with the finger it amps it up a little bit. It does a really nice job. Like I haven't wet my brush or anything. There's no intensifiers. I think that's done a really lovely job. I really do like this shade. I've worn this palette quite a few times as well. It is quite lovely. It's very versatile, especially if you want those different types of finishes for metallics. It looks lovely with the intensifiers. It just grips it a little bit more. See how it's definitely amped it up with the intensifiers, which I always say that I like because it means if I don't want it to be too intense, I can use no intensifiers, or if I want to amp it up, I mean, we always know I'm going to amp it up, but you know, I like it. Now I'm just going to pick up this KJH Cross Spectrum number 15 flat brush and I'm going to go into this one and I'm going to pop that everywhere else that we haven't got a shadow. I like this shade too. It's like a cool tony type champagne shade. This kind of palette as well for metallics really got you covered for like most occasions, like all of the shades in here. Again, this is applying very pretty with like nothing. Like look at the little moltenness there. I think that's really pretty. And I'm just going to again take it on my finger so you can see. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a pretty shade. Oh wow, that's a very pretty shade. And then I'm just going to go back into that dark grey and just marry that because I got a bit messy there. What else is new? Oh, that's a pretty, those two shades together are stunning. Look at that. That is very pretty. I really like that. Now the other side with the intensifiers. These are nice on mature lids or textured lids as well, if you're wondering. Quite a lovely formula, not too texturizing. Just going back into that Eyeshadow brush with that dark grey shade, and again marrying here because I got carried away. Oh, that is so pretty. So pretty. Just gonna wet my brush a little bit. Pick up that champagne shade. Just want to amp this up to match the other side. Oh yeah, there we go. I like that. This looks like a hot mess right now, don't you worry. I promise you it comes together in the end. It always looks like a hot mess at this stage. I'm just going to take a little bit of this darker brown shadow here with that same Shadow 04 brush and I'll just marry in here. There we go. Didn't mean to go so bold today, but here we are. Happens every day, doesn't it? Before I move on to my base makeup, I'm just going to pop a little bit of the brown Hermes liner in my top waterline while we're here. Perfect. All right, let's move on to our base makeup now. You know, Rephr Eye Balm naturally. For primer, I'm going to take the Merit Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. I actually surprisingly quite like this. I didn't anticipate to like it as much as I do because it's like a glow serum. But it really is, it makes the foundation just lay so smoothly and softly over the top of it that I really quite like it. But if you have oily skin, and even if you have combo skin, definitely tread lightly, because as you can see, like, it really is a glow. It's like almost like an oil type consistency, but it's so lightweight and it has a slight cooling to it, so I really like it. And then I'm just going to take some of my Tarte Professional primer, because I've had this for a little while and I just want to start using it a bit to make sure that it doesn't like go off on me. So you'll start seeing it in quite a few videos. And then because I'm completely ridiculous, I'm also going to take my REM under eye blurring primer, I guess. What is this actually called? Does it say? Cooling Blurring Under Eye Balm. So you don't need this and the Rephr Eye Balm. I still recommend the Rephr Eye Balm, but I have both and they do different things. The REM one really does blur under the eyes, whereas the Rephr one really hydrates and plumps them. So I actually like using both of them. It's incredibly extra and you don't need to, but I have both, so that's why I'm doing it. And for transparency's sake, you should know. Color corrector, I'm going to take my Fenty Beauty Rose Topaz, and this is just a Smashbox concealer brush, and I'm just like picking it up directly. And I'm just going to blend this under here. I definitely picked up too much. What else is new though? What else is new? We're going to use the Merit foundation. I don't think I've used this on my channel yet. I've got the shade Linen. It's actually a really good shade match. It looks slightly too deep, but then when I blend it out, it's quite lovely. So hopefully you can see that that's the shade Linen. And I expected, like, I picked this up because a lot of my Australian friends on here asked me to do a Merit review, which will be coming. I'm just waiting for some more products now that they ship to Australia. And I was like, okay, I can do that. Easy peasy. I'm just going to take my BK115 and blend this out. And I picked up this stick foundation just thinking, Merit was giving me like no makeup vibes, I guess. So I kind of was like, I don't think this foundation is going to be for me. I don't think it's either going to have enough coverage or it's going to be too glowy and hydrating or something. I don't know. I just fully picked it up expecting not to like it. And surprisingly, I love it. Like, really love it. I've actually been wearing this since the start of, no, midway through December, because I know I wore this on Christmas Day, this foundation as well. It's taken me by surprise. Like, it's actually quite a smoothing foundation, which I really like. It's not like a full coverage. It's probably, you can get it to be a medium. A light medium is how I like to wear it. I don't want to go too heavy. These kinds of like stick foundations, if you put too much product on, it can get heavy. But see how like instantly, like, I don't know if you can even see, like, it's quite smoothing and lovely. It doesn't have a flat matte finish to the skin, but it isn't like, it doesn't increase my oils or like greasiness or anything. Like it like, even though it has, oh, that could be the primer too that's actually making it look more glowy than normal actually. But it just, I like how smoothing it is, and I just like how it wears throughout the day. Like, it wears so naturally and pretty throughout the whole day. So I'm just going to build it up. My skin's looking a little rough today actually, if I'm honest. Just going to build it up where I want to in my trouble areas. But yeah, I've worn this quite a few times since I got it in December, and yeah, I'm blown away by how much I actually really like it. I genuinely thought I was not going to like it. And I'm stoked because I spent my money on it, but yeah, I really like it. I'm trying to think of, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Dior one with like less coverage and it's not as hydrating. Maybe, you know what it reminds me of? If like the Dior stick foundation and the Ilia stick foundation had a baby. That's what it reminds me of, which I love those two as well. So happy days. I've been very impressed with it. But see, I just think my skin looks so lovely. I really do. I picked up a new shade of the House Labs concealer. This is the shade 4 Fair Natural in Black Friday sales because my other House Labs concealer was not the right shade, and this is a pretty decent shade actually. So I figured I'd show you guys the shade. I guess I should swatch it for you as well, shouldn't I? So that is shade 4 Fair Natural, or Neutral, sorry. Because I got shade 11 light and it's just a bit too deep. I need to mix it with a lighter one for it to work. I'm just going to take my BK114 to blend this out. This brush has really become my new favourite in my collection. It's so good. And I quite like this shade. It's quite nice. I think it's beautiful. Now the the House Labs concealer doesn't have quite as much coverage as I personally like. But in terms of this shade, it's like a perfect match for me. At least I think so anyway. But I like mixing this. I like having the House Labs concealer in my collection just like for mixing purposes because it's a nice hydrating formula. So I do find it makes my under eyes look quite lovely. And because I'm me and I'm extra as well, I've got the shade 2 in the Lisa Eldridge Pinpoint Concealer, and I've been really liking popping it in here, which I saw Lisa do in her release video, and it really makes a difference. And I just tap it out. It just like lifts those kind of smile lines and makes them diminish a little bit, and I'm just, you know, I have it and I really just, I love it. Like those extra touches, you know, but I'm all for the extra steps, so you know. Okay, and then I will just pop a little bit. This is shade 4, which is my like actual skin match color, just there for that one. For cream bronzer, I'm going to take the cream bronzer out of the Auric face palette. So this is the Auric, this one's called Daybreak. There's an actual fancy name to it. I have included this in a video. I really like it. I think it's a lovely product. I'm going to take the Sonia G Mini Sheer Buffer and apply this. It's like quite a natural, it's not too warm, it's actually quite a neutral, I guess, kind of bronze, slightly warm leaning bronzer. It has the bronzer itself is not too like dewy, so it's quite nice. Like I think if you any skin type, it will look pretty nice. And there's like 4 different shades of this that suit like different skin tones, which is nice. She hasn't just released one face palette for one type of skin tone, which I didn't expect Sam to do, to be honest. And in fact, I have a feeling she kind of created this product. She used to love a product like this from Hourglass. Like, I don't know if any of you ever used to watch Sam Raventhal, and she stopped using it because they just wouldn't expand their shade range as Hourglass. And I have a feeling she created this after that product that she loved, and created the shades that she wanted, which is pretty good because she's a small indie brand, you know. I think she's done a good job there, in my, you know, limited opinion. It's really quite a easy product to use. It's very natural. I'm not going to use the other 3 in here today, but I've done a video where I've used the other 3, and like all of these products, I really like them. They're lovely. To set my under eyes, I'm going to take the Airy Kosas powder. Airy is the shade. And I'm just taking the other side of that 114 brush from BK. I'm just going to set in here. We had a members live yesterday, which if you're ever wondering if you want to join the members or you want to see the options, I don't think on mobile, but if you're on like a laptop or something, there's like a join button usually on the video or like on my page, but also in my description box, the very top link is how to join members. But anyway, we had a members only live yesterday, and like if you've watched my video the other day, like I talked about how I've had like a month off YouTube kind of thing. My first video back, and already the bloody members filled my shopping cart. Like I've already made a makeup order off the members makeup recommendations that I didn't have. So it is definitely you guys that enable my shopping. I shall just officially say that. You know I love it though. But yeah, it was just so funny. I was like, I mean, I've been buying new makeup releases and that, but I have been very constrained because I was like not able to film. And then like my first video back with the members, I'm like, all right, off I go to purchase all these things. Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Setting Powder, which has actually just been dropped on Sephora Australia today for my Aussies, as well as some random LYS lip products and setting spray. So there you go. And if you're wondering what the products were that I purchased, it was the RMS bronzer and blush, which I have never tried because it does have coconut in it. But I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get them and see if it does break me up, because I'm wondering if like having foundation and powder and everything on will be enough of a barrier for the coconut ingredient. Let's see. So I was like, all right. And I am level 4 at Mecca naturally, and they gave me a $75 gift card to use on Mecca for more like my birthday, because my birthday was in January. So I just used that for them. So I was like, this is perfect. Win, win, win. The Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin powder is nice, but I'm not as much of a fan of it as I think other people are. Like I know Nikki Lawrence loves it, but for me it's not as wowing. Like I think the Chanel loose powder is a million times better because that's the best powder ever. But also I think like the RMS powder is also better. I don't know what's different about my opinion, but I don't rate it as highly as others. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly go off camera and do brows, and then we'll come back and finish the eyes up. So 2 secs. We have brows. Let us finish these eyes. So I'm just taking this Chikuhodo pencil brush, and I'll go into this one right here and run that underneath the lower lash line here. And then I'm just taking this Spectrum KGH21 brush and going into a touch of the dark brown, just smudging that here too. For the inner corner, I'm just going to take this one with my Sonia G pencil brush. And then for my lower waterline, I'm going to take the House Labs eyeliner in Sage Matte. I haven't used this a lot, but it was very hard to get that color to like build up on that lower lash line, and now I feel like I'm gonna have that cloudy vision, but we'll see how we go. And then I'm just gonna take my Rephr mascara today. Okay. Eyes are done. Oh, I think they've turned out lovely. Oh, I really like the way they've turned out. What do you guys think? Pretty, very pretty. For bronzer, this is the What's Up Beauty Cheeky Tear bronzer in the shade 10 Light. I know I showed this in videos last year. Can't recommend this enough. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to take my Esom T59 brush. I really find this formula just super smoothing and buildable. It's really a lovely formula. I don't feel like these like bronzers and blushes that What's Up Beauty released late last year have gotten any of the love that they deserve, to be completely honest with you. I feel like What's Up Beauty doesn't get the love and hype it deserves, just period. Their products are really good and their brushes are brilliant. This is just my Sonia G Smooth Buffer, which I always do this for. At this step. For liquid highlighter, we're going to use Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Aqua Highlighter in the shade 2 Stella. I'm pretty sure I've used this in a video before as well. I think it's a new highlighter formula from Giorgio Armani, and I just pick it up with my sponge. It's fine. It's nothing that I'm like run don't walk, but it is pretty. It does have an ever so soft glitter speck in it, like very, 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 very soft, which I wish it didn't, but it is pretty. It's just not my favorite. And I'm just going to take the Chanel highlighter and eyeshadow palette that they just released for their spring collection because I can't stop using it, and I'll go into this shade. Just going to take it with an AA01 from Rephr and do this. I just love this highlighter palette from Chanel. I can't stop using it, honestly. Oh, so pretty. And now for a very fun part. I have the Glaminatrix new cream and blush duos that they released, which I have been using, as you can tell. And then I also have the 6 new shades of the lip and cheek tints. Now, I'm not going to use these today because you guys have seen me rave about these. Their lip and cheek tint formula was in my top favorite 15 products that I tried last year, so check out that video on the channel if you haven't. I love these. So what I'm going to do is insert the swatches of all of these new shades for you, just so that you can see what the new shades look like. There's a lot of pinks, as you can tell, different tones of pinks, and then this beautiful orange and red. I think these are absolutely gorgeous, and I think the formula is creme de la creme de la creme. I always liken that formula to like the Rare Beauty Liquid Pinch, but like less pigmented. And then they also released the cream and powder blush duos, and these are much more pigmented of a formula than the lip and cheek tints, so if you want something that's a bit softer, go for those. These definitely have some pigment to them. They honestly very much remind me of the Patrick Ta Double Take blush duos that he has. Very similar. So I'm going to insert the swatches of these 3 shades that I've got right now for you. And then for today, I really want to use Muted Mocha, but it's the one that I keep using. No, I'm just going to use it because it's my favorite one, honestly. This is, I haven't tried this on my face yet. I'm worried it's going to be a bit too deep. I think I'll be able to get away with it, but I'm not sure. And this one is just not a shade I would reach for every single day, like the pink. But this is like a holy grail. I've used this a lot. Like, I don't know if you can tell just how much I've even used this since I've got it. So I got these like whenever they released. I think it was towards the end of December, but because I couldn't really film, I've just been using it. So I like to take the cream blush on my sponge. I find that's the best way to apply it. And like I said, these are more pigmented. You can really build them. So start very soft, and that's why I like to use the sponge, just because it's gonna really softly, see that? Oof. Now you can keep building this up if you wish, but I don't need to because I'm quite pale. Oh, look at that shade. And then this is just my Rephr brush. This is the limited edition brush, and I'm just going to go into a little bit of the powder. Again, keep in mind, a little bit more pigmented. So start softly. And this is not a flat matte, this one. The other two are flat mattes. This one has a slight, like ever so soft slight pale to it. Not where it texturizes or anything, because I do not love a glowy blush like that, but just it just juices everything up a little bit. See that? Makes me so angry. These are absolutely gorgeous and absolutely naturally. These are being completely slept on. Do not sleep on them. They are impeccable. I absolutely love this formula. I think it's delightful. Don't worry that it looks intense now. It's going to calm down in a second. But I think these are absolutely amazing. You know that this is one of my all-time favorite blush products, and I think they've absolutely killed it with the blush duos, and I want to see more shades. I want to see more shades, pretty please, because it's impeccable. Right. Now we're going to set our face with the new Fenty Beauty You Mist Makeup Extending Setting Spray. Gorgeous packaging, and it's like a metal. It's absolutely beautiful, and let me tell you, I have fallen head over heels in love with this. So I still like to just spray it on my sponge and then melt it in. This is gorgeous. The formula is this perfect mix of hydrating and melting without being too hydrating and melting. Very lightweight feeling. And it's actually so similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, but I think I like it even better than that, if I'm honest. It's not, sometimes if you're not careful, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless can be too hydrating for my combo skin. This one is just a little bit less of that dew, but just a little bit, and it's just beautiful. It melts everything in so stunningly, and I have only tested it for about a week now, but I have found my makeup to wear really well, so I really like this. Really like it. For lips, I'm going to take my Tom Ford Irresistible Lip Liner. Still my favorite lip liner formula. Just, oh, so good. And then I'm going to take the Lisa Eldridge Rouge Experience lipstick in Romy. Also still an absolute fave. And a little bit of the Chanel Cocoa Gloss in 722. Let me go fix the hair and we will zoom out and wrap this up. All right, my friends, finished look. What do you think? I really like it. I think this has come together so pretty. This eye look, in my opinion, just looks lovely. Very much a me come of its own makeup look. I think we can all agree on that. I think I made my thoughts pretty clear as I went along the video, so I'm not really going to recap it because I really think I've made it clear, but I think the standouts for me, like from that new a lot of makeup that I tried, was that Merit foundation is so surprisingly good, and the Glaminatrix blushes, oh, so good. But like, you know, the What's Up Beauty bronzer, amazing, but I've talked about them before on my channel. I think the other products I've all talked about on my channel quite a bit as well. Like, yeah, but the two standouts from me for this video, the Glaminatrix blushes and the Merit foundation, just chef's kiss if you ask me. All right, let me know your thoughts down below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you're watching till this point, you know you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Extra special shout out to my Lily absolute legends and all my channel members here. Thank you for supporting my channel. It means the world to me. And I hope you have the most amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.